In a small village in Palestine at dawn, a vineyard owner came out of his house. His face was determined, but his eyes were full of kindness. He went to the square where many poor laborers were waiting for work. He looked at them and said, "Go into the vineyard and work for me. I will pay you a denarius as agreed." The poor men were delighted, immediately agreed, and followed him into the vineyard. Under the morning sun, they began their work hoeing the soil, pruning the branches, and caring for each green vine. Around 9 o'clock, the owner returned to the square. Many others were still waiting, hoping someone would hire them. He said, "You too go into the vineyard. I will pay you well." They immediately followed him full of gratitude. At noon, under the scorching sun, the owner went to the market. Once again, he saw many unemployed people. Without hesitation, he also called them into the vineyard. And so it went, and groups of workers continued to be hired, working together among the endless rows of grapes. Late in the afternoon, at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the owner came out again. He saw a few skinny men still standing there waiting wearily. He asked, "Why are you standing here all day doing nothing?" They answered, "Because no one has hired us." Then he said, "You also go into the vineyard." Then even at sunset, with only an hour left in the day, the owner did not abandon those who were left behind. He gave them one last chance to work in his vineyard. A day passed. Those who had worked early in the morning were tired, their shirts drenched in sweat. Those who had come later were still strong, but they all contributed to the care of the vineyard. When the sun had set, the owner called his foreman and said, "Pay them their wages, beginning with the last one." The foreman gave each of the last workers a denarius. They were amazed and happy, because they had worked a short time and were paid a denarius. Then the group that had worked at 3 o'clock and then the group that had worked at noon all received a denarius. When the group that had worked early in the morning came, they thought to themselves, "Surely we will get more." But when the coin was placed in their hands, they were shocked. It was only 1 denarius. They began to grumble, "Have we worked all day and in the scorching heat, and yet we are paid the same as those who have worked only 1 hour?" The owner replied gently, "Friend, I am not doing you any wrong. Didn't you agree with me for a denarius? Take your share and go. I want to pay the next one the same as you. Don't I have the right to do what I want with what I have? Or is your eye envious because I am kind?" At these words, the crowd became silent. Everyone felt that God's justice was not like human justice. With God, rewards are not based on hours worked, but on generosity and free grace. The first and the last are loved equally. The kingdom of heaven is a gift, not a bargain. Those who heard the parable thought for a long time, and their faces gradually brightened. They understood that God invites everyone, whether they arrive early or late, to be welcomed into His kingdom. And Jesus concluded, "So the last will be first, and the first will be last."